Welcome in. It is the local and community issues and answers right here with Jonathan Lawson. So thankful to have special guest Shelly Goldblum from Forever Friends. Shelly, welcome in.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'm happy to be here.
And we was just talking about animals and, you know, the love of animals and helping animals. Tell us about Forever Friends.
Forever Friends is a nonprofit group. We've incorporated now formally in Kentucky. We have federal tax exempt status. We have no employees, no paid staff. It's an informal network of volunteers in the community who love animals, who are concerned about the neglected and abused animals. Our mission statement is promoting rescue, rehabilitation, and responsible pet ownership.
Now, you've done so much for the community already. You helped in the last big tornado with the animals down there in East Bernstead, and there's just so much more to do.
It seems like a bottomless pit. You know, many people love animals, and they'll take in abandoned animals. They'll find the pregnant mama dog on their doorstep, or the mama cat in their barn, or the forlorn one on the road, but they can't afford the spay and neutering. So before they know it, here's a typical example. I got a call about 4 days ago from a lady in this community. She took in two stray cats in the winter, last winter, when it was cold, a year and a half ago. She said she ended up with 16 kittens.
Oh.
So we are paying to have her cats spayed for her, because she said she found homes for 16 kittens, but she reached her rope.
Right.
But we have very limited funds for this. And people, they end up commonly with 8 or 9 dogs. And they can't afford at $100 plus each to get them spayed. So they don't, and then there's more dogs and more dogs and more dogs. Some mathematician in the University of Washington not too long ago did research. If you had an unspayed mother cat and all the offspring that survived, which would be a small amount of the ones she had maybe, but all of them and their offspring that survived, in that cat's lifetime there would be 400 surviving cats.
And there is so much cruelty to animals, whether it be cats, dogs, horses, like we was talking about earlier. We need to put a stop to all this cruelty to animals.
We need to have legislation with teeth in it that is enforced. Even the laws we have, there are animal abuse and neglect laws, county ordinances, state laws, but they're not being enforced. And this is a problem. People phone us all the time and say, what can I do? Well, call your animal control, call your sheriff, call your police. If they won't come, call your judge executive. The judge executive is susceptible to public opinion because they have to run for office.
And it's such a terrible sight, and I'm sure you've seen it, how that when you neglect animals, not feed them, not water them properly, they become sickly. I mean, bad sickly. I mean, just to look at them, you know, it just breaks your heart. And, you know, hot weather's here, the heat's here, a lot of people, you know, mistreating them that way.
They don't realize how quickly that water evaporates, or the animals drink it and need more. Horses need to drink so much water. I keep a big bowl of water on my porch for the dogs and one in the kitchen. And usually you fill it once a day. In the summer, I'm filling it maybe 3 times a day, putting ice cubes in it. But people don't realize. And sometimes it's not uneducated people. It's people you would expect know better. I had a neighbor before I lived in Corbin, another state, who was an eye surgeon, wealthy man. Went away on a trip and asked me to take care of his horses. When he came back, I said, you left the water trough empty. It took me hours to fill that for your horses. So the next time he asked me to take care of his horses while he was gone was winter, I said, I'll do it if you have your trough filled. He said, they could eat snow. They're desert animals. Well, they're not. They cannot survive eating snow. And if somebody who is a medical doctor is that ignorant, You know, you need more public education from a young age with children in responsible animal care.
You know, in the places that we live in right here in the country part, Law County, Whitley County, Barberville, all the surrounding areas, there's a lot of animals. There's a lot of farms. And, you know, a lot of people respect their animals. But what about people that don't respect animals and just want to be cruel and mean and hurt some innocent animal?
People who are cruel and take it out on animals.
Yeah.
We hear cases where, you know, a couple breaks up, married couple or a single couple that are together, and then one of them wants to steal the dog because she loved it and throw it out in the country. Sometimes it's mental illness. Someone gets, case I heard, someone had a son who's an animal rescuer that we work with back east, has a mentally ill son who took her cat in the middle of the night, drove it out of state and dumped it. She couldn't find it. She'd had him 10 years.
My
you know,
goodness.
well, she put her son in and she hospitalized her son. I mean, these are extreme cases. A lot of it is just indifference and ignorance, not mental illness or viciousness.